Longmen Caves and a Dream of a Sunday Afternoon. The Longmen Caves were built in Luoyang, China by the Tang Dynasty out of limestone in 493 to 1127 CE. They are located on both sides of the Yai River. The patron was Emperor Wu. There is also an inscription that states that Empress Wu Zixin was the principal patroness. The site in Luoyang includes 2,800 inscriptional steles, 110,000 Buddhist stone statues, and more than 60 stupas. The Longmen Caves have a central Binyang cave, a Kanjing Temple, Kanjing Temple, and a northern and southern Binyang cave, but they were never completed. The central Binyang cave was carved in 508 CE. It was previously painted, and inside is a Buddha seated on a lion's throne. Most scholars identify this Buddha as Shakyamuni, an historical Buddha, but other scholars identify him as Maitreya, the Buddha of the future. The Buddha is being depicted assisted by 2 bodhisattvas and 2 disciples. Bodhisattvas are enlightened beings who have put off entering paradise in order to help others attain enlightenment. In the Kanjing Temple is a Vairocana Buddha. The Buddha is more than 55 feet tall, which shows supreme deity. On either side of the Buddha is a bodhisattva, a heavenly king, and a thunderbolt holder. The Vairocana represents a primordial Buddha who generates over all the Buddhas of the infinite universes that forms Buddhist origins and evolutions of the universe. The monumental sculptures in the temples mirrored the political situations that the Tang Empire was in. At the time, the empire was dominated by the emperor and its summit and was supported by its officials. The dignity and imposing presence of the Buddha and the appearance of his attendant bodhisattvas is significant in this context. In the Kanjing Temple are depictions of arhats and monks long on their way to enlightenment. The carver that carved the arhats who lined the walls wanted to create intense realism. The arhats are mortal, but they are capable of deeds both physically and spiritually. They can move free will through space and can understand thoughts in people's minds. Also in the temple are 29 monks who form a procession around the cave perimeter. This links the subject matter to the rising interest of Chan Buddhism. It is fostered at court by the Empress herself. The Longmen Cave and temples are a great sight to understand how rulers wielded this foreign religion to affirm superiority and assimilation. Buddhism was born in India and soon enough transmitted to China. It brought China new texts, images, ideas about life and death, and new opportunities to assert authority.
The function of the Longmen Caves was to record the lineage of the people who passed on Buddhism, assert power, and it was also used for assimilation. The material used was limestone to create the formations of the caves. Throughout the site,
there are 100,000 statues within the 2,345 caves. The caves range from 1 inch to 57 feet in height. This area also contains nearly 2,500 stelae and inscriptions.
The caves were dug from 0.62 miles stretch of cliff running along both banks of the Yai River. The dynamic low-relief decoration is reflective of the Chinese style, and the linear and abstract motifs are the typical Northern Way style. Some of the Longmen Caves were designed more symmetrically than the others. Here's some more works of art that the Tang Dynasty has created. This is Dreaming of a Sunday Afternoon by Diego Rivera. It was done in 1947 and was originally a fresco in the Hotel del Prado in Mexico City.
This depicts hundreds of characters from Mexican history all joined together for a stroll in the gardens. Some characters include Sor Juana, Hernan Cortes, and Porfirio Diaz. This painting contains many different elements. Some are lighthearted and playful, while others are much darker. The lighthearted and playful elements include the colorful balloons and the bright foliage, while the darker elements include a conflict between a policeman and an indigenous family, and even a skeleton smiling brightly at the viewer. In this painting, Diego Rivera demonstrates the surrealist movement, which tries to depict subjects that came from dreams or the subconscious. Even in the title is called Dreaming of a Sunday Afternoon. The fresco reads from left to right. On the left is the conquest of Mexico by the Spaniards, and in the middle is the fight for independence and Mexican Revolution. It also depicts the lifestyle of the Mexican elite and the kind of people who live lavish lives. And in the center of the mural is the artist Diego Rivera. He is being depicted at the age of 10 years old and is being led by Dame Katrina, the skeleton figure which was created by a popular Mexican engraver. Next to Rivera is his wife, Frida Kahlo. She's being depicted in a traditional Mexican dress and is holding the yin-yang symbol of duality taken from Chinese philosophy. And finally, on the right are modern achievements. The function of this fresco is to act like a manifestation of one man's experience of his love life and Mexican heritage.
The purpose is to show surrealism because the work of art depicts a dream.
There is no patron for this work of art. The painting technique Rivera uses is fresco. Fresco is a technique of mural painting that uses water, dry powder pigment, and plaster. The 50-foot fresco takes the viewer on a walk through Alameda Park. Alameda Park is the first city park that was built on the grounds of an ancient Aztec marketplace. The size of Diego Rivera's artworks reflected how his feelings and emotions were at the time of when he was working on it.
For example, when Rivera was working on this mural, Frida Kahlo was ill. That is why the diminished size may reflect his feelings of helplessness.
Diego Rivera uses space in the fresco by separating it into 3 different parts about Mexico's history, even though it just takes the viewer through a Sunday walk in Alameda Park. A Dream of a Sunday Afternoon is realistic because it shows people in their natural state doing natural things like going on a leisure walk in the park. The proportions of the fresco is 4.8 meters by 15 meters.
Here's some more works of art that Diego Rivera has created. This is called Creation, and it is a religious painting, and this is called Sunflowers.